Welcome to Spotlight Gulf Coast, a weekly showcase of people and events across South Mississippi. Sponsored by the IP Casino Resort and Spa, Mississippi Power Company, Wykert Realtors Gulf Properties, and Butch Ostelet Autoplex.
Hi everyone, this is Todd Trenchard, Executive Director of the Baco Foundation of South Mississippi, welcoming you to another segment of Spotlight Gulf Coast right here on WXXV. Each week we're coming into your living room talking about what's going on all across South Mississippi, and we want to thank our sponsors for this generous opportunity. Today we're real pleased to have back with us Mr. Brandon Elliott, and Brandon, of course, is a very well-known, builder here on the coast, but also Brandon, you're quickly establishing yourself as a tremendous community leader engaged in our community. And I've only known you for a few months, and I've just been astounded. You're like me, like the Ever-Ready Bunny. You're everywhere.
And, well, I appreciate that.
You've been a tremendous addition to our coast, but you're really not new to the coast. You've been here for quite a while. So let's start off with that.
Yeah, my wife and I have been here since 2008. I came down as a Seawolves hockey player. Only played for 3 or 4 months, then retired. I was with Tampa Bay Lightning, and we started Elliott Homes the old-fashioned way, one house at a time.
Right, and we talked about that on the last show, and a lot of people will see a name or a business today and think it was always there. Like you said, it started off very small, probably not knowing some days what you'd be doing the next week, and just kept going.
That's right. We still have a lot to learn as a company. Learning is a huge part of our culture. And for those people within our team that they just have a passion, a thirst to improve and learn and grow every day. But when we first started, it was just my wife and I. And, Steve Jobs says it best. We've got a long way to go, but he said, it's amazing how an overnight success always took 30 years, right?
Right.
And so, the root of that is people just aren't really paying attention until you get there. And I'm very thankful. We have incredible people. And everybody always says, what do you do? And, my role is easy. I build people.
Right.
And those people build houses for our customers and our clients, and they're doing a great job. I'm very proud of them.
There's easy times in the housing market, and then we go into some struggling times. With interest rates having increased, it does present some challenges, but also some opportunity. And so anytime that there is a challenge, this is an opportunity. And you're probably just like I am. I think like that because if you're not going to be the leader of those people, a lot of people that have never been through things like this, it can be quite challenging. But if taken the right way, like I said, there is a brighter tomorrow, and you can use this as a team building thing.
One of the interesting things about this time today, the past coast leadership has done such a great job putting us into this position. And today, the Mississippi Gulf Coast is the lowest cost of living beachfront community in the whole nation. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, so a big city, and I've lived in probably 10 places around the country. And I know this is an incredible lifestyle. And I know that a lot of people would love to move here. And one of the things that we face today, which is a national crisis, is affordability. And today, statistically, there's 110 million people that are priced out of their lifestyle in the market that they live. But we have a couple unique things happening. One is work from home. And 2 is 67 million retirees today leaving the workforce at 10,000 per day. So if you look from an opportunistic standpoint, the Mississippi coast is literally primed for growth without doing anything.
Right.
And we're very excited about that. We're very excited to be a part of it. And I think it's really gonna boost our region and bring some opportunity for businesses and for everybody in the area.
I know Ricky Matthews and we talk about this all the time, that some of our past biggest challenges, obviously Katrina, and then we had the BP oil spill. It's brought us a lot closer because we started talking together, and people in Jackson County know people in Harrison County, and we've developed things like the Business Council, things like that are looking at legislative changes that can be made. That's not happening everywhere in the country. They're still in their little silos, whereas here, like you just said, I knew you'd have an answer for it because you've been probably looking at what makes this region so special. And you've been a great proponent of that. I know you do work over here in Harrison County, but you also do work in Jackson County. So you're getting a pretty broad picture. This is an incredible opportunity for us.
Yeah, and we're also in 2 other states as well. We're North Carolina and Alabama. But I'm the most excited about the coast, just because of the dynamics. There's a lot happening here. There's a lot of great people here, and the lifestyle is incredible. And I think it's only a matter of time before people see it. Our out-of-state buyer has gone from 15% to 60%.
Wow.
And so there's people moving here today, and that only tends to snowball itself as the 2023 economy gets worse, as rates rise even further, and they will. And I don't think we're going to have real estate issues here like some of the northern or western states are going to have with falling home prices. I think ours are going to be very stable, and we have a housing shortage here locally. So
Right.
as a company, even though sales are slower today, just due to unknowns, we're still building homes because intrinsically there's a demand nationally and locally. And we want to make sure that we're there to fill that need for the residents of our area.
Now we're going to talk a little bit in the next couple segments about some things that you're involved with out in the community, including our foundation, but a lot of other things. But I did want to touch base. I saw y'all's party that y'all had some posts on that, and like you said, you invest in your people, and they seem like they're very interested in what you do for them. Y'all tell us a little bit about that.
So we have the annual Christmas Classic, and it's a cornhole tournament. And the reason it came about was, you have your normal Christmas parties,
right?
And you've got the bosses, and the middle management, and the front lines, and everyone is worried to say things in front of everybody else. And the one thing that I realized is people love competition. It's fun, it's exciting, and it brings an entirely different dynamic. It allows people to act as themselves. So a few years ago, I said, how do we bring competition into our Christmas party and make it part of it every year? So we came up with that. We got these Elliott Homes boards made called the Christmas Classic.
Right.
And so every year, one team is crowned champion, and they get to brag about it for the next 12 months. And it's fun. It's a Christmas party, and we do gifts and everything. But the best part about it is the competition. It just brings an element of excitement. So
I know that it's probably common in the car dealership business, but at Butch Ossolet's dealership, I'd always go and somebody gets the championship belt, and they get to wear, the heavyweight champion belt and get their picture taken. And but it's all part of that. We used to do it at M&M Bank all the time, where we would have competition amongst, different departments and stuff like that. And that team building goes way farther than that competition. It builds a family.
Builds trust. Most important thing in a team, most difficult to come by, but real trust within a team is not trusting that someone's going to do their job. It's trusting that they have their back, and that they can give them feedback and want to learn and improve and grow together. So that's what it does, and it's been exponential for us.
Okay. We're going to take a short commercial break. We're talking with Brandon Elliott. We're going to come back, talk a little bit about this great community we live in. So don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Of course, we're joined by Amanda Ray. Amanda, appreciate you coming on. Of course, Brandon Elliott. And Brandon, we were talking a little bit about building your employees, and that team building then builds houses. I know that you also are very strong into giving back into a community. If you can't be a part of a community if you're not giving back in some way. And you were just talking on the break a little bit about that mindset.
So it ultimately goes to purpose. And the purpose of Elliott Homes is creating a place where life gets better. And one of the mistakes that people make about business is they think that most businesses are in business to make money. And although that's important, because money is literally like a gasoline, it's the fuel for growth. You cannot have a company without it. Generally, they're in it for a much greater cause than just making money. And for us, that's to create a place where life gets better. And so to just look at the thing you do as a business, for us, it's home building and land development. there's a greater cause beyond that. When all the businesses, when all the
Right.
non-for-profits, and when people come together to achieve something beyond it, we achieve what is greater than the sum of the individuals.
Right.
And we end up making a much bigger impact. So it's important that we give back and to things that meet our purpose as a company.
You've become very entrenched in the community, done a lot of things. I know I was reading some of things you've done a lot with Lynn Meadows. You're always willing to step up and do something if it can help the cause. But I think what sort of changed your entire mindset was when your wife had some adversity. You started thinking, with American Cancer Society. And
Yeah, she battled with cancer this year, and we were fortunate. It wasn't as bad as other people have been. She's now fully recovered, and just actually yesterday had her final surgery to get her fully beyond it.
Right.
And so we're lucky, but when you look at what people have to go through, it's easy for them to be victims and to play the poor me role, but the ones that don't.
Right.
They use that experience to really change the world and really shift others. And they can create a major positive emotional shift in an entire social environment with
Right.
people. And from what I've seen, down here in the coast, we've got some very strong people. There's some incredible stories that people have reached out to us to tell us after they found out that she was battling with cancer.
Exactly.
And it's amazing,
As a young mother, I could only imagine what you guys as a family were going through, and I actually got to see her interview with Ricky Matthews, and it's just been an honor to get to know you and Adrian, but that was so moving and touching, and definitely she's using that to get the word out and spread awareness, and definitely things like that make you stronger in the end, I feel like. So
early detection is what she said.
absolutely.
Right. And I've met others that are champions of that same cause. And before, if you ever went through things like that, you didn't talk about it. And really nobody's benefiting from it. But the people coming forward, same with alcohol and drug addiction. I came here 25 years ago and I started talking about it. And you can believe the people that started asking the questions. It became, hey, the ones that got proactive and did something about it were the ones that were looked up to.
Social media today has such a bad stigma because of what some people post. And they play the entitlement card and they play the poor me card and race and jobs and all this stuff. And none of that has to happen. But there's a few that use it for positivity.
Right.
And they don't say anything on there unless it's helping others. And when they do, it's a very powerful, incredible thing. It's a gift.
Right.
To be able to wake up in the morning and scroll down social and to see motivating things to help us achieve success or to help us overcome adversity or whatever it might be. And so for those people that do that, what incredible leaders. Every day.
And you're one of them.
He is.
Because I read yours early in the morning.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
It's
I
usually
enjoy it.
first thing in the morning. And you read it. T. McCovey.
T. McCovey, that's who I was thinking too. Both
T,
of those,
who
I
runs
read those in the
United
morning.
Way over there, and he gets up at 3 in the morning, and but he'll post, something for the day or a prayer, and it gets you thinking on a positive note. Because I don't want to get up like anybody else and read about
any negativity or anything. You want to see something positive, something motivating. So
Now, Brandon, you do have the, I guess, unique ability to be able to have your business spread out in many locations and stuff. I don't think that, I think they're all very similar though in a lot of ways. You got great people over there, you got great people over here. It's really just getting them to maybe all come together. And I think that's one of the things we've done well with the foundation is try to bring people together under, a cause. Find something you're passionate about and give back.
Yeah, the opposite of learning is ego or pride. And those two things kill teams, kill economy, kill careers. And so one of the big things that I'm very big on with our team is that there is no place within our culture for any of those two things. And learning is the absolute highest priority no matter what. And it's an expectation. It's not something that we ask people to do. If you don't learn every single day and improve. So what it does is it allows people to achieve more than they thought. It allows them to take a little bit of risk. It allows them to not be scared to fail and not play politics in a team and, all that sort of thing. Because together as a team, there's no pride, there's no ego. We all know that we can be better as an individual, as a team, and every second, every opportunity, everything we can do, myself included, we're all learning to be better. And when you bring that into a culture, into a society, I mean, what an incredible place. And no matter what you face, no matter what adversity, no matter what, interest rate, housing crisis, it doesn't matter. There's always a win there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something I learned in hockey. The minute you think that you have all the answers, you have none.
Right, right. I know that, and we just got about a minute left with this. We talk, and you're talking, I'm sitting here, this is Tony Robbins. He's got it all down. But you've done a lot of reading. You've done a lot of studying. Just like a lot of us, we get in a good book, and I'll read the Bible every single day. And over time, you start picking up some things because you see it playing out in real life. And I think that that's what people didn't understand. We're not just born this type of wisdom. You experience it, you learn from other people, and you pass it on.
Right.
And not afraid to pass it on. So we're going to take a short commercial break. We're talking with Brandon Elliott and, of course, Amanda Ray. And we're going to come right back, talk a little bit about St. Jude. So don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We're joined by Brandon Elliott and Amanda Ray. And before we get to St. Jude, Brandon, we're going to talk about this fashion show I asked you to be in. You played it off. I don't want to be there. But you came out, and it seemed like you knew what you were doing. You had that move. You jumped up, did that click the heel in the air. Was this impromptu or?
It was definitely in the moment. Yeah. I think there was somebody from upstairs telling me what to do, because when I walked out on that stage, I'm not going to lie, my legs were literally shaking.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
I mean,
You never would have guessed it.
Yeah, no.
Natural.
I mean, it was, and I've seen that before. I don't know where it comes from. It's your moment in the sun on a fashion show. Never think you'd probably ever do it, and jumped up, clicked them heels, and
It was a hit.
made a little move here and there. And let's move over to St. Jude. Where did the idea come back? Or two, because obviously being a builder, it was something that it was an expertise that you do.
One of the things when in a business, we're always asked to do charity, and everybody has different methods for giving money. 500 here, 1,000 there, 5,000 here, whatever. And a lot of it comes down to whoever asks or whoever they want to like them. And when you really look at business, you have a long-term strategic plan, and you have goals and initiatives and what you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
And when I looked at our charity, this was about 5 years ago, I was going, what are we trying to accomplish here? Because whoever knew me the best and asked me, I felt obligated to give to them, but I couldn't say no.
Right.
And so the answer was, we are trying to create a place where life gets better. It goes back to our purpose. So with our charitable contributions, I asked my team, I said, what is the most impactful way that we could be on human beings with our contribution? And the St. Jude Dream Home concept fits in with what we're doing so well, because we built a house that would cost us $250,000, let's say, and we donate it to St. Jude. Well, then St. Jude takes that house, it's probably worth $350,000, let's say, and they sell $1 million worth of tickets. So they turn a contribution from us that's, call it $250,000, and they turn it into $1 million. So our donation to that has a 4x multiple attached to it. And so when my team looked at that, they said, this is a perfect fit. There's nobody else that could do what we're doing, unless they're a home builder in the industry.
Right.
And it's a match because it helps childhood development and helps children overcome cancer. And the stories we have from it are just unbelievable.
Now, you also are able to maybe showcase some of those that you work with, other contractors, that they can give back. And that has that effect because they take that same mindset back to their company.
Our trades are incredible. I mean, they give so much. And when I say, we give that, it's us and our trades and people in the community. And there's a ton of volunteers. Building one St. Jude Dream Home is like building 25 houses.
Right.
It is really hard. And but what does it do for the individuals in the home that are actually there? I was there on Sunday, this Sunday, and there was trades in the house working on Sunday. And I said, guys, thanks so much. And it gives them meaning, it gives them purpose. They could be home with their families, they could be home with their kids, but they're there donating for a greater cause. They know exactly what it is. And they go through life with a different posture. They feel that they're contributing towards society in a positive way. And it helps in everything they do.
Right. Now, this is the time right now that people can contribute. What St. Jude is out selling, I guess, chances to win. I actually know somebody, Ellen Cole, who won this house a few years ago.
Yeah.
Which was just so amazing.
Yeah.
A local banker that's been in banking forever, Hoppy.
Yeah.
Her son is the head of the first, and
she's the sweetest lady ever. She totally deserved it.
And Marshall and I were watching the drawing, we're like, no. How does somebody that's maybe watching this get involved or buy a ticket and do that?
So ticket sales open in March, and the home opens in March. It's in Florence Gardens.
Okay.
The Goldens own Florence Gardens. They actually donated the lot this year, which is a huge contribution. It's a $60,000 lot. And so the home will be open for 6 weeks. People can tour it, and it's $100 for a ticket. And this year will be the highest net donation made ever in the history of the state of Mississippi.
Wow.
So for anybody that's a part of it, for anybody that comes in and donates, like, sincerely thank you and very grateful, because we couldn't do it without ticket sales either.
So you actually finished the home before the tickets start.
Yeah, and it's fully furnished, and it opens up, and you can win a boat and cars and all this stuff. I mean, they have all different prizes, trips and a house full of furniture and all this stuff. So it's really neat.
And at the end of the day, those monies go to St. Jude Hospital.
100%.
Wow.
And I'll tell you a story about that. The first year we did St. Jude, we've done 8 homes now. In 2012, we met this family, and this child was 8. He had 3 to 4 months to live. And the parents were very open when we met them, with him and with us, which I was amazed at. And he knew it. He knew he had 3 or 4 months to live. Well, 10 years later in 2021, I'm at the front of a stage giving a presentation on that year's St. Jude Dream Home in front of about maybe 450 people that were going to contribute that year. And I was explaining about this boy that we had met, 8 years old, and great guy, and that my wife was starting to become friends with her family. And I said to them, to her, be careful. Like, most selfish comment I've ever made, but be careful, because you don't want to get too close to them, because what if he passes? It's gonna be hard on us. Most selfish comment I've ever made. But I said it, and I regret it, but she didn't listen to me because she's a saint. And she became amazing friends with him. Well, 10 years later, I'm giving the speech about this boy that he had 3 or 4 months to live, and it was really hard to become friends with them.
Right.
And this is why we contribute to St. Jude. And the guy standing beside me while I was doing it was him.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. It gives me chills.
And
amazing.
During our 10 years that we had done St. Jude, they had developed something called the proton laser, which was the first of its kind in the world technology that would shrink his brain tumor.
Wow.
And literally today, he is still alive.
That's amazing.
And he's incredible. Happiest little kid I've ever met. Amazing family. And they're charitable themselves, and they give back so much.
I know that if you don't know about St. Jude, any child can go there, and there's no cost to them. And that's, the old Danny Thomas.
That's right.
Started that back in the day. A lot of people may not even know who that is anymore. And Marla, I guess his daughter, continues to do it, married to Merv Griffin. I mean, I know all this because it's such a fascinating story to see how much that has made a difference. Well, we certainly appreciate you coming on. I certainly, it's just an honor to get to meet people that are touched. That,
It really is.
I mean, this is a pretty motivating guy here.
I agree.
Brandon, thank you so much.
Appreciate it very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate it. We appreciate everybody's support of the Baco Foundation of South Mississippi. Until next time, this is Todd Trinchard saying so long and may God bless.